it for the Redneck Garage. Well, it's as hot as a cat on a tin roof with a Coors Light, terrible beer. I don't know. Southern sayings sometimes don't make any sense. However, today we're going to be putting on a steering gear on the Jeep. The steering is really kind of loose back and forth, and here's just a little clip of a demonstration of what it's like right now. Alright, so after the alignment, steering wheel centered up. Nick did a great job on it. We went on a test drive and he noticed there's a lot of play in the steering box. So also we're going to be taking off the old steering gear, and I don't think that's going to be too difficult. But what I am worried about, right, is getting that pitman arm off. We aren't going to be putting on a drop pitman arm on the TJ because everything that I've read and some great suggestions from some subscribers, it does actually change the architecture of the truck and it makes it much more out of alignment. So we're not going to use the drop one for right now. We're just going to put on the new steering gear and see if that connects that back up, because there's another video that's going to be coming up soon that's going to announce some new stuff that's going to be happening, and it's going to be a video series, but I can't let you know yet because I got to keep you hooked in to keep watching. So anyway, let's get started on the steering gear. Changing the steering gear out on a Jeep Wrangler, it may be easy and it may be hard, so let's get it going. So here's my new steering gear, and I got it from Rock Auto, and it says your return request will be accepted till July 3rd. I don't know if that's the return for the core or what, but I need to go ahead and quit messing around, get this thing put on up underneath the bottom of the Jeep. Well, it looks mighty pretty in there, doesn't it? Awesome. So I'm going to go ahead and get this thing out of the box, and then we're going to start taking a look at what we need to take off as far as getting that baby disconnected. Alright, here's the booger that we're taking off right here, and it's a 3-bolt. And we've got to drop this right here, that arm. Take those 3 bolts out. We got to get this pitman arm off, which is going to be the biggest pain. And disconnect our hoses. Well, thankfully, everything's brand new, all the hoses and everything, so I'm hoping that the hoses come off relatively easy because they're brand new. The hardest part's going to be the pitman. So I'm going to go ahead and disconnect this, take off our connector, and then take these 3 bolts out and then undo the hoses. Alright, I got the steering arm off. I used a pickle fork on it. So now we just have the power steering control. And I'm going to raise the hood and we're going to look up top. Here's our steering shaft, and you can see the bolt here I got to loosen up, which should allow this to come off of the end of the steering gearbox itself. Now it's brand new, so it should come off relatively easy. There she is. I've got the bolt out of this, so we'll go ahead and see if I can wiggle that off and then take off the 2 power steering lines. We should be in good shape putting it back on. I've used anti-seize on all these bolts, you can see here and on the other bolts, so it made it really easy to get it back off. Usually the nut will come off relatively easy. It's getting that stupid arm off. We're gonna give it an old test with the Milwaukee Impact and see how well it does. Not even a test. Came right off. Now this is the huge issue here. I'm going to get a puller and we're going to see if we can get this arm off of there. Alright, I've got my pitman arm puller here. And how much faith do I have that this is going to work? Not much. and I get to the point where I'm afraid this is going to shatter. So I'm going to let it sit on there for a minute. Okay, I heated it up with a small torch and it actually came off, so awesome. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Now I'm going to put it on the new one. We'll be ready to put it on. Alright, here's a new one. And I'll fit my arm on it. We'll be ready to rock and roll as far as that goes. Alright, I got the shaft line back up on there. I set it like the old one was when I took it off, just by comparing the two. So it was easier to get on. Now I just got to hook up my two lines. It came with two new rubber seals, so I'll put those on, get our lines hooked back up, and then we're ready to go back on with it. Tighten this down, should be good to go. Looks good. Awesome. Alright, got everything tightened up, get a new cotter key in here. Everything looks really good. You got to finagle it a little bit. Alright, and the last thing we got to do, pour some power steering fluid in it. And some more power steering fluid. Well, I can tell you the steering wheel is a lot tighter. I can feel it pulling one way or the other when I do that. It may need to be realigned, but that's cool. And it's still getting all the air out of the power steering system. You can still hear a little bit of the whine. It's going away though. So it's going to take a little bit of time for all that air to get pumped through the system itself. And I got a check engine light, but who cares? I'll be checking up that. We'll be looking at that later. But the steering is much, much better. I can actually feel the pulling either way about like that now. So awesome. All right, so that's about it. I'm still waiting for a little bit of the air to come out of it. Every once in a while you get a little bit of the thing, but it's working its way out, no problem. Steering wheel is much, much tighter. I'm really tickled with it. Now I got to get the cord, ship it back to Rock Auto. How exciting is that? But the steering wheel's tightened up. Now it'll probably need another alignment, which is okay because we're going to be headed back to the tire shop. I'm going to make an announcement about that very soon. I've listened to you guys and I don't want to give away too much because there's going to be a new series of something about something because I'm tired of listening to all of you. Thanks for being a subscriber. Any questions or comments, post them below. And we're steering right now. I'm Dave from the Redneck Garage. Keep turning wrenches.